Welcome back to the Cusses Flu Yapcast. I'm going into it right away. With a topic, but who knows where we'll go after this. So I wrote down, you're allowed to want something like for yourself, but not completely, like you can want something. Okay, this is what it is. All right. You can want to learn something, want to be good at something, want to try something new without being super obsessed with it. And in fact, for me, unless it's a girl, JK, you don't have to be super obsessed with it. You can, like for me, generally with things, I started jiu-jitsu recently. First of all, I can slow down. Okay, I don't have to speed through this. I just had a cappuccino with my mom, and now she's gone. Anyway, all right. So with jiu-jitsu, I wasn't, I'm not that obsessed with it. But I tell you what, especially at the beginning, it's been about 2 months almost. For me, generally, it takes me a second to get. Okay, sorry, stop. Don't you dare leave. All right, here we go. So, you don't have to be obsessed with something to pursue something. I think society, especially as artists and stuff, make it seem like you have to be obsessed with it, or you don't actually want it. And that is a lie. Or I'm going to subscribe to that as a lie because there's lots of things I want that I'm not obsessed with. For instance, I'm not obsessed with learning the guitar, but I want to learn the guitar. So I continue to learn it without being obsessed with it. It's really that simple. I do it with most of my music. I've never been super obsessed with music, to be honest. I am obsessive. It might sound like I'm obsessive because of the knowledge that I've gained and how much I enjoy talking about it. So maybe I am obsessed, but I wasn't at first. Let me just put it like that. If I am now, I was not for a while. For me, usually the obsession comes in, if I do get obsessed, when I think it's more obtainable. So, and I'm not trying to counteract what I'm saying. I don't think that you need to be obsessed with it, because I do think being good at the guitar is more attainable, and I'm not that obsessed with it. But for instance, jiu-jitsu, I'm not very obsessed with it, but I am enjoying it a lot more now that I have 2 submissions under my belt. Because I'm oh wait, maybe I could actually be good at this. When I first started, I was just I want to do this for myself, and this is what I want to do and get good at. It's just a practice that I want to have. But I've never been I wasn't super I wasn't that obsessed with it. I was kind of forcing myself to go. I wasn't oh, let's go. Now I'm I cannot wait for jiu-jitsu tomorrow. Or I can't wait for it tonight. You know what I'm saying? And that took a second. It didn't just start right away. And it actually is because I started getting, I think, some of the fundamentals down. I have so much to go. I'm not trying to say I've made it anywhere, but I don't know. I just don't want, for myself at least, or you, but for myself to think that you have to be obsessed with something to pursue it. You're allowed to want something and not be obsessed and pursue it. And I think when we look on the internet and we look at social media and content about maybe things that we're doing or people talking about stuff, they're you gotta be obsessed or you won't be the best. Well, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of those people that say that are just making content on the thing. They're not even some people are obsessed. A lot of successful people are or have become obsessed with the thing. But I'm just saying that's just what that person believes. I actually think it's a limiting belief. I think it's a pretty limiting belief. Because how the hell are you supposed to be obsessed with something you can't even fucking do? You know what I mean? It just doesn't even make sense to me. like maybe for other people, but I think if there is to be an obsession, it's gonna be after you believe you can do it a little bit. And I also still don't think you need to be obsessed. It's just a limiting belief. I mean, how are you gonna do anything? How will you ever do anything if you think that you have to be obsessed? It just doesn't make sense. You might have to do it a lot to get good at it. I'm not gonna lie. You might have to do it a lot to get good at it. But you don't have to love every moment of it. I think I've talked about it before where I said, I never really believed in myself when it came to doing music. Now my music started to sound good, but I never really believed in myself. Definitely wasn't obsessed. At first, at least. So I don't even feel obsessed now. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be doing this. I would just be making music right now, to be honest. But if I were to just go off of my feelings in the moment, then I would have quit music, quit social media, quit everything before it even started. Just saying. Now, I will say, on a tangent, if you are here from my social media, which I imagine you are, and you're not just a random person, I'm definitely backing off of social media a little bit. I'm still gonna stream, still gonna do this, still might make some YouTube videos. I just don't want to post. I don't want to be forced to post short clips every day, short videos. I just don't want to be forced to do that. It doesn't feel great for me. It doesn't make me feel like I can express myself fully and authentically because I'm I gotta post something. I put too much of my worth on it. It was just really starting to it was just not good for my mental health, to be honest. So maybe I'll post every day in spurts. Maybe I won't post, sometimes. It's just not, I don't want to, before it was I felt like my life depended on it in a way. And because of that, I couldn't, it's hard to write a song when you're fully forced to write the song, and supposed to do it in a way where you're oh, this is gonna, it's just hard. It's hard to enjoy writing the song as much, it's the same when you create something or anything. At first it can be fun, but then, when you're oh my God, I have to do this or to survive or to get what I want. And then you put all this weight on it and then wait, all this weight. And then you're lifting things super high. Oh, and then you never put it down and you're oh, okay, I'm a little tired. That's kind of what social media felt for me. I put a lot of weight on it. So yeah. Another thing that I put a lot of weight on is my bed. Kidding. I think I put a lot of weight on myself when it comes to relationships. I think that I'm so used to not finding someone exactly that I usually, to be honest with me, I feel like it's really easy for people to feel connected to me, but sometimes it's hard for me to feel connected to people, and I think a lot of people probably actually struggle with that. And the second that I feel like I can be vulnerable and connect with someone, it makes me immediately have fear of losing that thing, even if it's not something it's not my, it's not my thing to have. And if that happens, then my energy could change, and it honestly probably just gets in the way, because the reason that I feel connected with people is because they let me be, I feel like I'm free, free, and to be me, and that's the type of relationships, friendships. When I say relationship, I just mean any type of connection. That's what I want to be in, something that feels free. And the second that I get fear is the second that I put myself in a box and I'm no longer free. It's no one's fault but mine. And I think, probably from my past, it definitely has to do with people pleasing, but not really. It's like different, same but different. But it's probably that same energy. It's just, I don't know, abandonment issues. Who the fuck knows? But I just am working on keeping that freedom for myself, because really no one has the power but me. And just keeping my own freedom. How do you do that? I don't know. I think first, what you do is, even if you get anxious and you get stressed out and you get worried and you want to do things differently, you acknowledge it. You probably can't even handle, I can't even handle when I get that stressed out. But the only thing is, no matter what, I still make the decision that I would have made if I was free, instead of the one that's seeking reassurance, needing something, etc., etc., etc. I think it's better to just make the decision to be yourself, either way. And in reality, if you do that, what happens, guys? What happens? If you consistently make decisions to be yourself and to do things for yourself, you will continue to build relationships with people where it actually is real and matters, because you have been yourself. So you know the people that are there for you. And honestly, you're old enough at this point to make, to grow and to decide, you don't need other people to decide if you're lovable. You can see your good and your bad qualities. Take it easy on yourself and just walk towards, the way that you want to go. But just think, just ponder that if you aren't yourself when meeting new people and building any type of relationship, then they're going to become friends with whatever you were portraying. And if it was your fear that you were putting out there, and you were making decisions based off your fears, then you're going to have people like you for your, they're going to become friends with the fear version of you. And it's going to perpetuate. Let me cook right now, guys. Let me cook. And it is going to perpetuate the fear version of you. And it's going to feed the fear identity. Holy mackerel, guys. Let me cook. Anyway, so if you build relationships off of your anxieties and fears, then you will feed that identity. And they will feed it too. Obviously not on purpose. So better, even if you have anxiety or fear, to just make the decisions that you should make if you were fearless. Because if you were fearless and you make the fearless decisions, then when people are there with you, they're there with your fearless self. And that probably reasserts and helps build that fearless, confident character. This is a concept, guys, but I believe in it. I'm believing in it as I say. So, if you're struggling with anxiety, relationships, pursuing something, choose, even if you're anxious or worried, choose the fearless path. Build the fearless path. The world will reassert your fearlessness. The people around you will fall in love with your fearlessness, and you will be you, the ultimate version of you, and whatever that is. Or act out of fear all the time and insecurity and feed and let the world and everyone around fall in love with the insecure and fear version of you. And what happens? And what happens if they do that? They reassert that identity. The world reasserts that identity, and you become that version. Dum, dum, dum. Anywho, that's got, like, I think I deserve a Nobel Peace Prize at this point. I might be Gandhi. Wait. I actually don't really know anything about him. I might be the Buddha. If if we could just get past the thoughts. Wait. I'm kidding, guys. I'm joking. I honestly, at this point, I wish I was that confident. Like, I wish I had that big of an ego where I genuinely was like, yeah, I'm like fucking Buddha, man. Because if I really believed I was the Buddha, then, like, no one would be able to touch me. For real. Anywho, if you made it this far, eyeball heart you in the comments. If you don't have emojis because you're on something else that doesn't have the emojis, then type it out, okay? Type it out. Why don't we answer a question from the last YouTube video while we're here? Let's answer a question of the last YouTube video. So let's go to Custis Blue. Let's go. Oh, hello, sir. Okay. All right. No one really asked a question, not gonna lie, but I know that they asked a question on this one, so let me look. Okay. What is the biggest challenge I've encountered and how did it shape me? Honestly, that's not a fair question. Because I feel like the challenge is life, and I feel like it's consistently shaping me, as you can see. I think that the challenge, the biggest challenge that I've encountered is myself. And how has it shaped me? You're discovering that right now, to be honest, because I'm talking and telling you how my mind works. Let me get this off my screen because I'm now reading. Okay. So I think that if I'll try, I'll try to answer this. I just can't say it's my biggest challenge, but music, learning to sing, learning about music, learning to play the guitar, learning to mix and master, although I can't really master, but I can, just I don't know what I'm doing. Things like that, writing music and all this stuff. That's been a huge challenge for me. Huge challenge because not only did I not believe that I could do it at all when I started, I believed it was impossible, literally. But it really was hard comparatively to almost everything else that I've ever done. I mean, even, getting 1 million followers was easy. But getting it going again is really hard. But when I first started, it was really easy, to be honest. It just came naturally. Everything came naturally. Not music. And so I think learning something really hard, even though some people say, maybe you're not meant for this. Well, especially if you want to do that thing, it's actually really a great way to discover some things about yourself and about the world and how to learn and how to grow, and that you can probably really do anything. Trust, because if you heard me singing when I first started, it was so off key. I didn't even know there was such thing as a key. It's actually a miracle. It seems like a miracle that I can produce a scale with my voice. I bet you right now, if I tried to go through the scale, like just a basic scale, I would probably, fuck up Do, re, mi, fa, so, do, so, la, ti, do, do, do. Maybe that's right. Do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. I know I got do right, the first one. Maybe not the octave. JK, do, do. Okay, sorry, I'll get on this tangent for a while. Sometimes I do this in the shower. That's a miracle right there, guys. What you just heard is a legit miracle. Even if it was wrong, I promise you, if I can, I can do anything, I swear. That's just kind of what I'm trying to say. I think learning something really hard, and I'm not even that good at music yet, but I'm good. Like, if I saw what I did, you know, if I did now what I thought, if I saw this from the beginning, I'll be like, what the fuck, you're a magician. You know what I'm saying? Just, that really shaped me. But I wouldn't say, like, spiritually that shaped me. That's just, like, a physical, in reality, logical thing that shaped me. To me, life itself is the spiritual shaping, and what is shaping me and is my biggest challenge. I think that that's how that is. Anyway, I feel good about this. I feel like this was enough. I know it wasn't 30 minutes, but I feel like I have been able to express what I wanted to, and I hope that you have a good day. I love you. Baddies, please drink water. Custis Blue and everything. See y'all later. And if you want to ask a question in the questions, I might answer it, I might not. It's my decision. Bye. But do it.